Good evening and a warm welcome to our last edition of the Cannon and Jonezy All Euro show. Well, we all got excited for nothing, didn't we? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of debate to discuss over the next hour. We're going to discuss, obviously, the England-Spain game last night. We're going to look ahead to, obviously, what the future brings for England and some of the other nations. And we're also going to do our last edition of the old porridge list. And I think there's probably going to be a good few candidates on there. So, obviously, before I begin, warm welcome as always to my co-host, Jonezy. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Apologies, I missed the other show the other night. But yeah, work called. But yeah, man, I'm proud. Super proud of back-to-back serial losers. Fucking brilliant. Mean as I start to go on, boys. Mean as I start to go on. I've got more.
Oh, it's all coming out tonight.
And a very good evening and a warm welcome. And he's a debut to the show for Craig. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Thank you for having me on.
No problem, no worries, mate. Good evening to Mark. How you doing, mate? You good?
Good, yeah, good.
Yeah, we're gonna get a bystander's perception of what he thought of the Euros final as well last night. I think you'll be like the mediator because I think there's going to be some ranting going on tonight. If I'm being totally honest, especially of us.
Fair enough.
And good evening to Mr. Brooks himself. How you doing, John?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm just devastated. I thought I'd be sitting here naked, but good old Gareth has blew it, so I'm fully clothed.
The world has been disappointed again, mate.
Mate, I was getting ready to run round Raynham last night. The wife said, no one else will be doing that, so I fucking will be. I tell you, I was ready to go.
I said to the wife, I'll be up and down the street if we win.
What an anticlimax, honestly. How disappointing.
I reckon there were a lot of people in bed by 10:15, weren't they?
About 10:30 because I had to get the flags down.
And a very good evening to obviously Mr. Arsenal Misfit, who's already in the chat, and also Hawk Wynn. So good to see you both. So what we're going to do first is just obviously have a look at obviously the lineup for the England team yesterday. So as we can see, there was one change in terms of Luke Shaw finally come back in the left back role. With Trippier dropping to the bench. But apart from that, everything pretty much the same to the Holland victory with a back three of Cole Walker, John Stones and Mark Gray. Right wing back was Saka. Left wing back was Shaw. Centre midfielder Manu and Rice. With our front line consisting of Bellingham and Kane. And with Phil Foden obviously in the other number 10 role. So before we do get to the aggression part, I'm just going looking at this lineup. Jonesy, any surprises for you if in terms of the lineup that was picked?
Well, no, it's Southgate, innit? It was more the same shit that we've seen. But no, yeah, obviously Shaw being fit was the big surprise because we thought he was like his legs were busted and broken and dead. It was surprising to throw him in the final, but he did well. To be fair, he was probably the only one who was actually did quite well that first half. But no surprises with me. Same shit up front. Good old James Bond number 11, 007. Yeah, fantastic.
And funny as we say, old football brownies in the chat. But funny enough, I've told a Welshman to fuck off at 8 o'clock this morning when he texted me good morning. He got two answers about fuck off. Good afternoon, mate. Or should we say good evening? How you doing? I'm sure you're a bit smug at the moment. Going to go over to you, Craig, in terms of the lineup. Obviously, Watkins got that last minute winner against Holland, but there was never really any expectation that he'll get into the lineup still, was there, coming into the final?
No, I mean, a small part of me thought he might. But then, again, like Jonesy said, I realised who our manager was. And it probably wouldn't happen because he just... All right, he subs him off, probably 20 minutes too fucking late. But he just won't drop him. He just, like... I don't think he had a very good tournament. All right, he's, 3 goals, joint top goal scorer, fucking fluked out. I don't know how he managed that.
Damn lies and statistics. I know what to say about stats like that.
But I was glad to see Shaw back, like Jonesy said. That was a nice addition, I think. But I wanted Watkins to start, but I just think clearly to Southgate, scoring the winner to get them there in the first place wasn't enough to dethrone old matey that couldn't score in a brothel. But yeah, I don't know what went. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Look. We'll go into the kind of performance and obviously the kind of run up to the performance in terms of the England performance in a minute. I just want to go to obviously Mark first in terms of your kind of perception going into that final. Was you quite confident that Spain will win overall England over the 90 minutes?
Yeah, I was. Like I think I said it. We were on the quarterfinals, previewing the quarterfinals before Spain or Germany. I think there was a few of us at that night that said Spain and Germany is probably the real final. Whoever wins between these two teams would probably go on to win it. And I saw nothing in the semi-finals that would change my mind. Spain have just been incredibly impressive in all their games. So it wasn't so much England. England hadn't been impressive, but Spain had just been very, very good all through. But what was really puzzling to me last night, the first half against the Netherlands with that box midfield, the four guys kind of in there, was England's best performance. And then last night in watching the game, he's decided, let's go back to the formation that hasn't worked at all during the group stages. We'll throw Jude Bellingham out on the left wing. And what the hell is he doing here? Like, to try and get the better Spain, you have to try and beat them in the middle of the pitch. So let's try and outnumber them there by getting four really good players, England, four really good midfielders in Rice, Mainu, Bellingham and Foden. And instead, he shifts one of them out to the left wing where he clearly wasn't comfortable. I couldn't believe what I was watching, to be honest. He'd found a system that worked and then he abandoned it to go back to a system that hadn't worked. And it's one of those people, this will come up, I'm sure, is does he genuinely believe Jude Bellingham is the best left winger in the squad? Because surely to God he can't. Like,
surely not.
Well, again, we're talking about the manager again, but yeah, to go back to your first question, no, I didn't really have any doubt Spain would win the game. Every metric suggested that they were the better team, and the eye test as well suggested they were the better team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, apologies. I can barely hear anyone because it's absolutely right. I'm peeing down out here, so apologies. But I did kind of get a little gist of what you kind of saying. Pardon?
Good old British summertime.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes, mate. We've come home. The weather never come with us in the first place, did it? John, just obviously looking at that Spain team, obviously you looked throughout the team, didn't you? And there were some really, obviously some quality players. Did you feel that this is a Spain team that can kind of conquer the world over the next 4 to 8 years, or do you feel like we've made them probably look better than what they were last night? Even though I suppose they've had a really good tournament, haven't they? In terms of, and they played really decent opposition throughout. Do you feel they can progress into one of them teams who can conquer the world again, like they did 10, 15 years ago?
Yes and no. I mean, you look at some of their youngsters. I mean, you look at Williams and Lamar. I mean, the world they've always said ridiculous. I mean, Lamar, 16 or 17 now. I mean, fuck me. I mean, it's just, him and Williams could terrorise people for the next 15, 16 years, for goodness sake. I mean, yeah, they've got a good side, but they've got fucking Morata up front. That's the thing that really pisses me off. You know what I mean? Oh, they've got some good players, but, Cucurella, for fuck's sake. They've got some great players and some average players. And I think that's what pisses a lot of people off, because we should have won.
There's no weird books to you. Like, when I watch other countries,
compared to theirs, we've got the stronger players, but sadly their manager's got a brain and we've got a fit back. So, he plays wingers. Who would have thought playing 2 wingers would work? Wow!
I think he had Spain in the sweepstakes.
Fuck me! Spain took the ball to their wingers. Oh my God! Can you believe it? The midfielders passed the ball to the fast people. John Stones and Phil Foden passed to each other. Yay! Go on, mate, Jesse. Yeah, fucking brilliant.
Yeah. But it is weird, I think.
I know.
You watch a lot of players, and Cucurella is a fine example. His club form is terrible, but it's like watching a different player for Spain.
It's like he doesn't.
He's turned into a brilliant left back.
When he plays for Chelsea, he doesn't care.
Yeah,
they love their man.
yeah.
They got on very well with
He
him.
goes and plays for Spain and just turns into the best
Roberto
left back in the
Carlos.
competition. Yeah, like bloody hell.
I mean, you look at some of their players like Lenormand, you know. He's a good, solid player, but you stick him in that Spain team, and fucking Laporte, he's gone to fucking Saudi, chasing Ronaldo around for £500 million, and it's crazy. It's just, They've got a good side. They've got it wrong, but
we've got a leak as well. We've got a leak in the bar. It's all going Southgate here, mate. It's all going Gav Southgate.
But be careful you don't get electrocuted. Not going through the lights, is it?
Probably do me a favour, to be fair.
Save you getting the toaster out.
Need a day off tomorrow.
I'm going to go back to Jonezy and obviously spice the show up a little bit now. John Sand, obviously, regarding the Spain team. And I was on the perception as well that even though they got some really good talent there were some areas that I thought we could really, really hit them with and affect them. And I felt that Cucurella, being one of them, would be one of the areas where if we can get the team right and get us playing down that flank, that we could kind of eat him up, like we see Saka do against Chelsea. And to be fair, parts of the first half, at the start of the first half, I see that happening. But more and more the game went on, more and more we started to try to go direct and go for 40, 50-yard balls each time. This has been a common thing for England throughout the Euros, where we seem to play backwards more than we play forwards. Now, I'm going to fast forward to the 75th minute of the game last night, where we've got back into the game. The crowd's bouncing. We've got possession of the ball for probably the first time in the whole game for a good 2-3 minutes. We get a throw in right on their box, on the corner flag, and we throw a ball 15 yards back to a defender, who then has to then play it back to Pickford, who then boots the ball upfield. And mind you, at this point, 10 yards from the halfway line himself, and boots the ball out of play. Now, this has become a common theme with England. They've done it with throw-ins like that. They've done it where we've had corners, and they've done exactly the same thing. Why are we playing so negatively? Why are we doing this? When our players don't play like this way in the Premier League?
It's got to be the shit ass who's in charge, isn't it? It's got to
must be.
It's got to be. He's telling them what to do. So, we've come back into the game. The cunt's probably thinking, let's get it to extra time. He's not even thinking like a normal manager would. Look, we've got the impetus here. Let's try and snatch the fucking game from them. But no, he wants to probably, get it to extra time and then evaluate it from there. And the guy is just, when we've all got jobs here, right? And when you got that person who's come in and you think, how the fuck have you got that job? You're either knobbing someone off, or you don't know how you've got this fucking job because you've got no tactical awareness of how to do that job. He's just an absolute prick. And this fucking whole thing in the media of, he's probably our greatest manager since blah, blah, whatever. No, he fucking ain't. He's a fucking nearly man. He's a serial loser. Him and Ken go well together. The both of them lose every fucking trophy they're ever in. Should I carry on? Because literally I can go all night.
Yeah. Crack on, mate. Crack on.
Do it.
Fucking shit ass. And I literally, if I saw him in the street, I'll spit in his face. He's an absolute wrong. I don't want him in charge of stuff. And all these people here that tell me, you should be grateful. He's brought the squad. I don't want fucking harmony. I want fucking trophies. That's what I want. And 2 back-to-back final losses is not fucking good for the crop of players we've got in that squad.
Exactly.
Done.
Absolutely hammering it down here now.
Yeah, belting it here.
Yeah, so apologies. I am struggling to hear that a lot. But I know I can see by the animation in your face you're ranting away there. But
I mean, going back to that throw in near the corner flag, did we not fucking equalise from a throw in and a flick on and an overhead kick? Yeah. All right, I'm not saying the same fucking thing's going to happen again, but surely you're launching that fucking ball in the box.
Yeah. You're getting John Stones in there, aren't you?
I'm screaming, saying, the fuck are you doing? Why? We're not 2-1 up. We're not trying to waste fucking time. Why are you going back?
I refuse to say good evening to any Scottish person that comes in and chat this evening as well, by the way.
Or Spanish.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Craig. An absolute perfect point that we got saved by a 94th minute equaliser, which was in exactly the same position in terms of where that throw-in was. And when you get an opportunity like that, you get the ball in the box. Now, I was a believer as well that this Spain team are not that strong in defence whatsoever. You've already got Rodri that's gone off the pitch. So there's
two of them are French for a start, and probably shouldn't even be there. But
yeah, but you got Rodri who's gone off the pitch, haven't you? And you've seen in the France game that a ball in the box, they're not the strongest at defending set pieces, and you watch that and you think, what the hell have we just done there? Like we've literally. Do you know what? Right, it was that bad. Right, if he'd thrown it any lower, it would have been a foul throw because it was like he literally kind of threw it like that. Yeah. Like it was like he panicked. Panicked, and it's scared tactics for me. They're too scared of committing a ball, and this has been the whole problem in the whole tournament for me. And if you watch them centre backs, they've been the worst at it. And do you know what? I'm not going to use Guay as much in that, but especially John Stones. And I'll tell you why I'm going to pick on John Stones a little bit. It's because he plays for Manchester City. Okay, so Man City, a prime example of a team, right, that play their way out the back. Yeah, right. You watch John Stones in a Man City shirt, yeah, right. He'll pick up the ball and he'll play a first-time ball into a defensive midfield position, into a Rodri position.
No worries, no qualms, just
Yeah, we're not doing it. The amount of times that I see John Stones, Cole Walker on that ball, yeah, right, and they turn back to Pickford every single time. Yeah. Every single time. That would not happen in a Pep Guardiola team. And
it'd be spitting fucking feathers.
Yeah.
But we as a nation, right, need to change that ourselves. We as a nation need to say, do you know what? We may lose games over it initially in the short term basis, but long term, right, it's going to develop our game. Now, Manu, you can play a ball into. I've watched him. You can play a ball into. Declan Rice, for me, if I'm being frankly honest, and I'll stick to what I said yesterday, he's a number 8. Yeah. He's not a number 6 for me. Okay, when you talk about the top end, he's not. He's a number 8 for me. He's a box to box player. Do you know what's a great secondary guy? But we need to change his formation back to a 4 at the back first and foremost. Yeah. We did. If we had selected the right squad, we would never have to go on 5 at the back in the first place. I'm a keen believer that the right back and the left back problem was the whole reason, that we had to end up going 3 at the back. But then to go 3 at the back and still not play balls out when you got 3 of you at centre back, for me, is quite kind of unforgivable. And what it did was, right, every time they pass back, it forced Pickford into a situation. So he'll play the ball out. The right back will play it out to the right winger, just say Saka, for example. He'll be pressed by 2-3 players. He'll then play it back to Cole Walker, and Cole Walker end up playing it back to Pickford. And then when Pickford's then got the ball, he's like, shit, we've got pressed into our half. I've got to hoof it long now. And then we're hoofing it long. But do you know what? We've got a guy up front who's a statue. Like, we've got a 6-foot guy up front there, right? Who, do you know what, right? My son Bobby probably could jump higher than him at the moment, or could leap off the floor like a bit bigger than him. Like, absolute pathetic for me in terms of his performance overall. And if he's injured, fair enough. But then, if that's the case, you've got a fully fit Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins on that bench.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if Harry Kane is not fit, Harry Kane should not be playing in the team. I don't care if he's the captain. I don't care if he's banged in 40 goals for Bayern Munich this year. His tournament was very, very poor. And okay, he scored 3 goals, but we've got to be honest, right? 2 were absolute tap-ins, which, let's be honest, even the grandma could probably score. And the third one was a penalty.
Liam, we've got lightning here. Be careful. I don't know if it's coming your way.
Yeah, I've just seen that, mate.
Be careful, mate.
Yeah, I'm all right. Don't worry about me. So there was so much wrong. There was so much wrong within the team, and I honestly believe, right. Looking back at it now, right. We didn't change whatsoever, and even in that final, the only time we changed the way we played was immediately after we scored for 3-4 minutes, and then we lost total belief. Now, everyone's saying that must fall back on Gareth Southgate, and it will fall back on Gareth Southgate because for me, for the last 8 years, right. We need it, like, he's had 8 years. So if you've got a manager who's had 8 years, I expect them not to just be playing football at the top end, but getting into finals and all that, especially with this team he's got here, but to have a DNA, to have a style of play.
Yeah.
We haven't got a style of play whatsoever. We go onto the pitch and they all look clueless and don't really know each other. And if we're going to be totally honest as well, yeah, right? If we had fallen on the other side of that draw and played Belgium in the second round, we go out the tournament. If we go and play Portugal in the second round, we go out this tournament. If we go and play Germany in the second round, we go out this tournament. And if we go and play Spain or France, we go out this tournament.
Yeah.
We ended up on the right side of the draw, and even then, we were seconds away from losing to Slovakia. Now, I don't believe that he's told him to play that throw-in back last night. I believe that's on the player. For me, that is on the players. But I believe that the way the team's been set up over the last 6 months to a year, and the way they played that last 20 minutes, after that throwing got thrown in, that's all on Southgate. For me, that is what he's breeding in the last 2 years. And our performances over the last 2 years have not been good enough. They have not been good enough whatsoever. You look at 2 years ago, well, it was a year ago, whenever it was, we lost to Hungary 4-1. Was it 4-0, 4-1? 4-0. 4-0. We go into the pre-season tournament winning one game in 6 and losing to Iceland at home. The cracks were there. And I just think that the reason we got to this final was moments of brilliance. And it shows you, right, what players he has got at his disposal, because moments of brilliance bailed us out. But overall, in the end, I just think that we've been caught out by poor planning, and we've not moved on from probably 2021, definitely, in terms of a style of playing. You look at the Calvin Phillips situation. I'm 100% sure, right, if he had played well for West Ham this season, he'd been playing in midfield for England. And yet again, what are we doing about the midfield situation? Like, you look at the midfielders and you think, why are we not breeding the midfielders? Like, why are we not breeding these players coming out into the England team? Now, for me, like, Manu has to, like, yeah, he's had a really poor final. He's had a really, really poor final. But so is Declan Rice, we're being frankly honest. Yeah. But don't throw Manu on the wayside now because of it. Like, you're going to have to, I think we're going to have to go with this guy. And I think we're going to have to show trust in him, because I think he's so important for the next 4 to 6 years. Because, do you know what? Yeah, right. What I've seen come through the 4 to 6 years before, nothing's come through centre midfield whatsoever. Declan Rice. To be honest, we kind of pinched in our mark. We've kind of pinched Declan Rice from Ireland, if we're being totally honest. Like, he didn't initially come through our system. So what are we doing about that? I'm going to go to Craig. What are we actually doing about it? Because for me, we haven't got abundance of centre midfielders that are coming through the system. But when you look at the way we need to develop to be a world-class team, for me, that's the key area.
I mean, you look at what we've got now, and you look forward to, the World Cup, or even 4 years at the next Euros. Who realistically are you looking at now who's playing that you would safely say would be playing in that midfield until, okay, they're not, Rice, but I don't think Conor Gallagher's any good.
Oh,
not in an England shirt, not in a Chelsea, whatever. I don't think he's good enough. I think Phillips, I think you're right. If he had done well at West Ham, if that had worked out for him, he's one that goes in there. But what if it don't work out for them? Who else are you going to stick in there? Because I genuinely can't think of many others now that could go in there and do any better or as good as the ones that we've already got in there.
Well, you've got Walton. He didn't even play a minute. Didn't took him to the Euros. How can you take people to a tournament and not play them for 1 fucking second?
Exactly.
Me and Liam have got a lot of Palace friends who are massive, massive fans of him. They're saying he's unreal, we can do this. That. We have no idea. Southgate, he claims that he's great and don't trust him to play him.
He just had a lad's holiday.
Yeah. He bumped Trent into midfield for the first 2 games, where he's never played before. Then he went to Gallagher.
I don't rate that either.
That was stupid.
No.
I
just don't see where.
Just in case you're thinking of looking over here, we don't have any midfielders to help you out anymore.
No, we can't nick anyone off here. I mean, even under the under 21s, I've not heard anything where any sort of midfielder could come in
That's the thing, that you go back years, England generally don't, as you said, they don't produce that type of midfielder, say a Jorginho type, who just keeps the ball moving. All the good midfielders they've had, they're either great box-to-box players or breaking the play up, or someone like Gaz who's just extremely skillful. There's very, very few in my lifetime anyways who are just really good at demanding the ball off the back four and keeping the ball and playing progressively. As I said, it's probably just an issue culturally in the system over there that type of player or that type of position just isn't valued as highly as it should be, because if you look at Spain yesterday, one of the best players on the pitch is probably Fabian Ruiz, and he's the type of player that England would kill for. You just don't have anyone that can do that type of job, and haven't for a long, long time. And nearly every tournament they go out of, you're left with this situation, bemoaning in the midfield, we can't keep the ball. Why can't we keep the ball? And it's like, well, you don't have players who actually want to do that particular job for the team. So it is, as I said, it's something that needs to be looked at on a wider level. Because as you guys probably close to it to me, there doesn't seem to be anyone coming through that's going to fix that problem either.
No.
Maybe, as you said, Brooksy, the guy from Palace might be able to do it, but we don't know.
He ain't going to do it he ain't going to do it by himself, is he?
No, exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very good point. I think there is definitely a lack of position there, and I do think, even though, I do think Manu personally going forward, I think he can be that guy. If I'm being totally honest, I see enough in his tournament not to just judge him on that final, and I think he's someone that's got to be given the tools to potentially be able to play. And be a key piece now. But we got to remember as well, he's only 18 years old, and to go into that position at 18 years old, it ain't like the Lamau at 17 who's playing on the wing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's playing a key central midfield position, which usually you're expecting world class play. He was up against Rodri, for example, like world class, and he's up against that. And to be fair, him and Declan Rice were, no offense, but last night they were out there depth in there, and that piece of that was to them. But I'll tell you what my personal opinion was, right? And I don't know if you agree with me, and I'm not in the Conor Gallagher camp whatsoever. But do you know what? At half-time, what I would have considered, if you're not going to bring on a striker, push Bellingham into the false nine role. And I'd have brought Gallagher in there for additional legs in there, because they were out on their feet. We've known Declan Rice is out on his feet for the last probably 2-3 games. And we just had nothing in us to get in that midfield. And I just feel we needed more legs in there, more support. And it was like Croatia back in 2018, like when in the second half, Luka Modric just took over and Southgate just couldn't combat it whatsoever. And it's like he gets a brain freeze. And let's be honest here, right? When Cole Palmer come on, yet again, right? We're praying that we score basically another goal in the 90 minutes, because when you look at that team, it was Declan Rice in that midfield on his Jack Jones. Then you're looking at an attack of Saka, Cole Palmer, Bellingham, Phil Foden, and Ollie Watkins. Yeah, that ain't substantial enough for not like to play for over a 20-30 minute spell against a Spanish team that got world-class players in that position. So it was no surprise for me. And I think I said it live on air at the time. Just before they scored, I said they're going to score in a minute, because all we're doing now, right, is getting the ball and Pickford just smashing it upfield. And it's literally just coming back. But there was no midfield in there. Obviously, one player that did come to mind, and I don't know if he needs a move. He's not going to... Is he good enough to get into the England squad first and foremost? Is Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, I noticed that he was part of the 2017 team that won the World Cup, that kind of grew up with kind of Phil Foden and all that. Is he a player that can come into the England squad?
Yeah, he's a good player.
Don't see why not, compared to the shit we got now. Do you know what I mean?
Conor Gallagher can play. Fuck me, yeah. Right.
Yeah, if Conor Gallagher can get in that team, I'm sure Morgan Gibbs-White can.
You're just running around getting booked.
There is a few English players out there that he didn't take. You got Tyreek Mitchell for left back. We could have used him. I know
he's bonkers.
I know he's not probably the greatest, but he's a left back instead of playing right back.
Oh, mate, who's the left back at Luton? Doughty.
Yeah, Doughty.
Yeah. All right, they got relegated, but some of the balls that he could put in. But surely that's better than playing fucking Trippier at left back.
The key fact,
Lewis
they're
Hall,
actually left backs. Yeah.
Who
Lewis Hall, Newcastle. The one was at Chelsea. He's decent.
Yeah.
Better than fucking Trippier, for fuck's sake.
Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones, I don't rate him. I think dog shit.
Yeah.
He's just.
But it couldn't have been any worse, let's be honest.
Well, what my issue is a little bit is like you said about Adam Walton. Well, none of us know what he's all about. So it'd be nice if when we start coming around again, Adam Walton gets a game or a few games. Because do you know what? If he is what we hear, he says that basically Adam Walton's this player who starts play up and very kind of progressive with his kind of passing and all that, then maybe he might be a player that we can kind of look into and that. But last night, I
pick him against Ireland. He looked like the second coming of Pirlo.
Jack Grealish comes on in that game. Jack Grealish comes on in that game last night. And when you start looking at players that you have got on the bench that were never ever going to get a minute, and you start thinking, do you know what? Right, Jack Grealish would 100% got minutes in this team, in this lineup.
Rashford
would have got minutes.
Rashford would have all day long.
He would have got a goal as well, probably. Not being funny.
Calvin Phillips, we know, we already spoke about, would have definitely got minutes. And you sit there and you think, we just took certain players. And when you think that it was a 23-man squad, that now UEFA and FIFA have gone, you can have a 26-man squad. Like, you've been given 3 additional spaces to what we usually have anyway. And I just think Jack Grealish last night was a player that we needed, like, to hold the ball up and to keep ball. That retention-wise, I think he would have been a massive ingredient in that second half. I'm not saying that we'd have won the game, but I think Jack Grealish should have gone anyway, personally. Like, I know he's had an indifferent season and all that, but let's be honest, right? He's still a cut above half them players that went out there. And if we're being totally honest, a few of them have really kind of let themselves down. And I don't want to get too critical because I could get ruthless, but I'm looking at the player of the season for both Spain and England, Bellingham and Foden. I expected more from both of them. I thought Bellingham had a pretty much of a stinker last night, but is that because he's getting played out of position? Do we stop playing 2 number 10s? Is it not going to work and you've just got to go for one or the other?
You know what? I'm a bit controversial about Bellingham. I think the lad, he needs to chill the fuck out a bit. You know,
he's an arsehole.
He's
an arrogant fuck, isn't he?
He's coming across.
He's a cocky little cunt, mate.
He's becoming across like a bit of a prick, if I'm to be honest. As much talent as you've got, we see it with Saka. Bags of talent, a likeable lad off the pitch. Bellingham, bags of talent, but a bit of a prick. You can see a difference in their attitude.
You could see it with Bellingham after was it Slovakia? He did the press conference and did the big one. Gave it the big one.
He thought he was fucking McGregor, just fucking.
He's in no one's little friendship groups, Bellingham. He's got elevated to the leadership group with Kane and Phillips and someone else. And I think he thinks he thinks he's something else. I mean, the first game, was it Serbia? I know he scored, but he elbowed his shoulder into someone and give it the big old. And I said to Sarah at the time, I said, I don't like that. I said he just even when he gets touched, he throws himself on the floor. That's obviously the Real Madrid in him. But I think, when you look, as you said, look at Saka, how humble he is. I thought Bellingham could be something special, but apart from the 2 goals, he did nothing. That sounds silly, but he didn't do anything.
And I think at Real Madrid, I remember reading that they basically, the senior players at Real Madrid run the dressing room. So if he was carrying on over there, the likes of Modric, Toni Kroos, Nacho, guys who basically are able to turn around to him and go, shut the fuck up, I've won X, Y, and Z long before you came here. Yeah. So they're able to keep him in check. And I wonder, when he goes to the England squad, after I've won the Champions League, I've won Player of the Year in La Liga, I've won a La Liga, I'm the dog's bollocks here, I'm the big I am. The rest of you haven't got that. So I wonder, is there an element of I'm the big cheese here and the rest of you fall in line behind me?
No one's denying he's got bags of talent, but there's a way to carry yourself. And he isn't doing it very well, and it's going to do him no favours if it carries on, to be fair.
Well, it was interesting last night, wasn't it, that he was going around after, and there's been a lot of talk in social media that he feels like people feel like he's little broing everyone.
Yeah.
In terms of the way he went up, like at the end, this is the same player that obviously kicked the balls at the end. I don't mind a bit of frustration. Do you know what I mean? He's obviously pissed off, but what I do think come across, is because he's at Real Madrid, the best team in the world. He's seen as a Galactico, isn't he? He's just won the Champions League. is he rubbing up other members of the team the wrong way? Do you know what I mean? And like you even look at Cole Palmer, do you know what? Everything aside, everyone knows I dislike Chelsea, but do you know what? Yeah, right. That lad come on every single game, yeah, right, nearly, and made an impact. Do you know what I mean? For me, he deserves to be in that starting 11 somewhere when we come out of this, because his impact last night was sensational. His impact against Holland was sensational. He's a breath of fresh air. I knew when I see him at the Charity Shield when he scored that goal against Man City, that against Arsenal for Man City, that he's a baller. This kid is a baller. And for me, he's one of the players that we should be looking to get into that side and keeping him in that side. Now, Phil Foden, the other example, and I'm going to be a bit harsh on Foden here. Everyone knows I dislike the geezer very, very much so, but he's got this. He reminds me of a little kid at times. And I say that in respect, right? Because what he performed in this season, I kept thinking, something's got to come out of Phil Foden in this tournament, because he's been too good for Man City to perform like this. But then it dawned on me that he's got a whole team base around him. He's got a Rodri, he's got a Kevin De Bruyne. Do you know what I mean? He's got a Bernardino Silva. He's in a team of an unbelievable talent. But it's very different when you go into a team, right? That's not so superior. And Phil Foden has been very fortunate to grow through the Man City ranks in terms of like having all these players around him. He is a good player. He's a superb player, but he's got this whiny kid's face. And when things ain't going right for him, I don't think he does enough. And he's petulant. I see it at the Emirates when things weren't going right for him. He starts crying at the ref. Everything's going against him. Yeah. And he's one player, right, that needs to look at himself and think, do you know, I could have done much, much better in that tournament. I don't think Southgate's helped him whatsoever. But at the same time, he needs to make it happen. And I think he's been taken out of his comfort zone with England. Mm-hmm. I think he's clearly been taken out of his comfort zone. And he hasn't had to work hard. Like you look at Saka, he was in a poor Arsenal team. He had to work hard to get. He basically pulled Arsenal through for a long time. He knows what it's like to work hard. I just feel with Phil Foden, he doesn't know what it's like to work hard. So
I think if he's in any other Premier League sides, he doesn't go to the Euros. I think because he's playing at City with the players he's got around him. If he's in any other team in that Prem, I don't think he goes. Because he's shown that if he was genuinely that good, why have we not seen it at the tournament?
Very average. Look at Saka. He's played in all of this from and been brilliant. And everyone he's tried his fucking hardest. And everyone's gone, oh, brilliant, fair play. And Foden's just thrown his toys out the pram, you know.
Yeah. He's just not used to. He's used to, like you said, De Bruyne, Rodri, Silva, Haaland, having them players around him that play certain balls into him or make them certain runs for him and make him look better than what he. I mean, he has got some talent, but where is that in an England shirt? I just think if he plays for any other team in the Prem and he struggles like he does in it, he's not getting picked.
No, I think it's a fair enough point. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a fair enough point. It's weird. I was only we went round to Sarah's sister the other day, and we was playing football in the garden with her little son, and like her sister's son, he was only 8, and all he kept saying was pass. And I was like, you need to run for the ball. Do you know what I mean? Run for the ball. You need to work for it. And I just feel like Phil Foden's that kind of player. Do you know what I mean? That he just, and I think it felt like Kane was exactly the same. But obviously in a different kind of format. Like Kane, I don't know if he's fit or not, but he just wants everything into his feet. And if it ain't into his feet, he's half-heartedly going in for it. He will look like he's working hard, but when he's going into tackles and going that, he's half-heartedly going into them. And if you look at it, he's losing probably 90% of them 50-50 tackles and battles. And I think now is the perfect time, right, after this tournament to say, do you know what? We'll still have you around in the squad, but you're not a guarantee anymore. You're not a starter.
He can't be captain. That's the whole problem. If he wasn't captain, Watkins probably would have started last night.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Now he's captain, star striker. He goes, oh, you're not starting. All of a sudden, it's a big old thing. Oh, my God, the captain's not starting. He needs to scrap it. it's got to be either a centre half or a midfielder. There shouldn't ever be a striker, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, until they change him as captain, then he's always going to start.
Yeah.
Sadly.
I swear I saw.
Hopefully, we'll do.
I swear I saw something last night that he only had one touch
in the
opposition's box in 2 finals.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
And that's the fucking captain of the national team, banging in fucking goals left, right, and centre for fucking Bayern. And he's only had one fucking touch in the opposition's box in 2 finals.
It's disgusting.
That's fucking shite. And yet he's still fucking captain, meant to be fucking representing them lads, getting them fucking lads riled up, and he can't even fucking rile himself up.
He can't even speak properly.
Yeah.
That as well, yeah.
It's fucking
People must have to use fucking Duolingo to fucking understand what he's saying.
That's what he is, a fucking big nose wallop.
It is an interesting one, isn't it? Like I thought before the tournament, and I've been quite critical of Declan Rice in this tournament, and I think it's only rightly so. Do you know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, yeah, when I see performances that I don't think are right, then I'll come call it out. And I don't think Declan Rice's performances overall have been right in this tournament, and it has made me think: is he actually ready to captain his team yet? Now, before the tournament, I was 100% yes, he was. Yeah. But then I started thinking about it. I was thinking probably at this moment in time, John Stones is probably the outstanding candidate.
That's exactly who I said last night.
To be England captain at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I think John Stones had a good tournament, fairly good tournament. I think him and Gray had a very good tournament. My only criticism of John Stones was that he was very reluctant to pass the ball through the middle. Yeah. And I believe that, yet again, comes down to confidence in who's in that centre midfield. And I think that he's so used to the system, again, that Man City, that he probably feels like he's passing to inferior players, if I'm being frankly honest, yeah.
We saw in it. He did that one mazy run, didn't he, where he couldn't find a pass. He does.
But we haven't got a defensive midfielder who can literally turn on the ball, have we? No. Like Manu can be that guy. Manu can be that guy.
I think he did it a couple of times against was it the Netherlands, where he was getting the ball and he was doing it. But then you look at other games and he just doesn't seem to do it. But there's no one else that will do it.
As a manager, I'll be saying to them, right, if whoever comes in, what are you going to do? We may lose games because of this, but you're going to play the ball from the centre backs into the midfield. One of my non-negotiables is that you do that. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't hesitate, you don't play black. Like we've got to come out this method of playing back and playing this conservative style football. Have faith in your centre midfielders.
Getting relegated in the Nations League might be a blessing in disguise, Liam, in that sort of way. In that you're going to be playing weaker opposition. That you'll. If you want to implement something new, whether it's with a new coach or not, if you want to implement something new, you're doing it against weak opposition. And that's been brutally honest. Ireland have been in League B for a long time, so I can tell you the opposition is crap. So it will allow you to actually take chances if you have a manager that's willing to take chances and take a few risks. Because England playing badly will get out of League B easily enough. I would imagine, just based on what I've seen, but it is a perfect opportunity if you want to take risks and you want to go right. We're ripping up what we've done before. To hell with that conservative stuff. We're going to play through midfield. We're going to play through the lines and actually get a proper passing team in place. It's the perfect opportunity. Whether that's under Southgate or under someone else, it could well be a blessing in disguise getting relegated into League B, because I think your group's same as ours. It's Ireland, Greece, and either Finland or Iceland. I can't remember which. I always get the two of them mixed up. So none of those 3 teams should be beating England in a fit,
No, I think that's my saying.
I actually totally agree with you, Mark. I actually think it might be a perfect tonic. I do think that this is one of the biggest positional play that we need to work on with England, and we need to be confident in our centre midfielders. I'm not saying they're bad centre midfielders, they're not, but do you know what I mean? But in the mind of Cole Walker and
are they just the wrong type? That's.
Do you know what I mean? I think that they think, oh shit, it's not Rodri or it's not whoever's in that centre midfield. Oh, do I pass him? And by the time they thought about that, they're thinking, shit, I've got to take back now. Do you know what I mean? And like we've got the players in the attacking positions that if we get the ball into midfield quickly, that if we get these wingers, like if you've got a Saka, do you know what I mean, or you've got a Cole Palmer, or you've got say an Anthony Gordon on the left hand side, you get the ball to them quick enough, right? Like I think Didi Haman said, get the ball to them, they'll absolutely ruin teams, they'll absolutely kill teams.
Yeah.
If you got Saka on the ball last night and got Cole Walker up with him, Cucurella would have had a dreadful night. He would have had an awful night. But you can't just continue ping 40, 50-yard balls, right? And just pray for the best every time. Like, we're not getting the best out of none of our players whatsoever. And I think that's...
Going back to that throw-in, that just called Spain. England don't fancy this. England don't think they can beat us.
Yeah, of course.
If this is what they're resorting to, we have them.
Let's go for it, yeah. And that's exactly what they did from the goal kick.
I'm going to come out the controversial one here, and I'm going to go to you, Jonesy. The goalkeeper. Now, I thought he had a good tournament overall. I think he made some really good saves when needed, but he was left founding last night in terms of his footballing style. Now I'm talking about changing the way we play and changing the style we play and trying to play more like these progressional nations. Do we potentially look at the goalkeeper as well? If Aaron Ramsdale gets a move and gets into a team and gets some confidence back in him, do we give him a go?
I don't know. I think Pickford can still play it out from the back. I know he was hoofing it all tournament pretty much and last night, but I think that's more what he's being told to do. Because I mean, for Everton, he has played it out for the back. They've been caught out a few times, but he is willing to do it. If you ask me if I would rather him or Ramsdale, I would still go Pickford and would take my Arsenal hat off just because of the whole concentration thing. That still gets to me. I know Pickford is a bit erratic at times, but we saw it last night. To be fair, it could have been a lot. We could have been speaking today, been losing 4-1, 5-1. He did make some brilliant saves last night. But I feel it's the tactics he's being told to hoof it long. Or he's got, like you say, he's got no options. He'll pass it to Stones, and then Stones, who will he pass it to? So he's probably thinking, fuck it, I'll just hoof it.
And again, that's probably why Stones isn't playing them regular balls that he's doing fucking week in, week fucking out under Pep Guardiola. Because Southgate's saying, oh, no, I don't want to play that style of football. And it's like, why? Why are you not getting these lads to play the style of football that they're playing week in, week out for their fucking club? It's fucking working. You've got Stones and fucking Walker, treble-winning fucking team last season. They've won the fucking league this season. The way they're playing works. Oh, no, I've got a fucking idea. I want you to play the complete fucking opposite of how you play for your clubs because I want to do it my fucking way. It's like he's fucking stubborn or something and he doesn't want to allow these players to play the way that the other managers have taught them how to play. It's like he wants them to do it a different... And I can't wrap my fucking head around it.
Is it, and I'll go to John on this one, is it Gareth Southgate as a player? Like, he wasn't a top-end player, was he? Is it because probably being at the mediocre sides that he probably had to kind of rely on the defensive side game more? Is that embedded into his coaching style? Is that probably rubbing off on his team, what he wants because how he used to play?
I think it's got to have quite a bit to do with it, yeah. I mean, as he being a defender, he was no frills, was he? He wasn't... wonderful. He wasn't, like I suppose, like Rio Ferdinand was quite a flamboyant centre half, very good on the ball, go forward. Southgate, he's just an average Joe, wasn't he? Really, I mean, he did all right, but it's crazy when you think of some of the players he played alongside, how he got so many caps, really. But even in the under-21s, he was, he wasn't exactly pulling up threes. No, did well. But they weren't exactly thrashing teams. I don't know. He's just fucking boring, isn't he? He's just no frills. I mean, even for the final, he wore that same shitty top. I mean, wear a pink tie and a pink suit and a Chelsea hat. Yeah, we're in the final. I just think, I don't know. You look at some of the times, at half-time, you see him in the tunnel. And the players just look so depressed. They're just like, what's he said to him? It's like, fucking hell, Spain come out, bang, goal. And fucking hell, that must have been a team talking off.
Yeah.
He's like, Southgate, just, do nothing fancy. Just keep it tight, and hopefully we'll score a goal. And it's just, as soon as they scored, it's like, shit, what do I do now? It's just, he's got to go, isn't he?
And in terms of obviously they had a bit of a rant about this one last night, and the reason I had a rant about it is because, like, and I'm going to be totally honest here. Ben White, if he's in the England team or not, I think he gets in the team, but I think like every other player, I think he gets dragged down by the tactics. If I'm being totally honest, I think
there's no way he makes the runs for us that he does under Southgate.
No.
Wouldn't be allowed.
And my kind of argument is that, do you know what, like, whether he's in the team or not, I don't think this is the big issue at the moment. Like, 100% I'd have him in there. I think, for me, it's personally a straight battle. If I'm being honest with you, the right back position should be a straight battle at the moment out of him and Trent for the right back spot. But to get back in the England team now, Southgate has to go for Ben White, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Mark?
100%. He's not getting back in while Southgate's still in charge. It's just simple as Southgate would do total face with the rest of the squad if he brought him back in now. Similar to what happened in Ireland with Roy Keane and Mick McCarthy. The manager can't go back now. He just can't. So it'll take a change in manager for Ben White to go back in. And to be honest, I think if Ben White got a call from Gareth Southgate, he probably wouldn't answer it anyway. So
he's probably blocked his fucking number anyway, so it wouldn't ring it.
Yeah. So
it's a very delicate situation, isn't it?
Players.
It is a very delicate situation, that one, in terms of it. In terms of obviously Spain, though, obviously rightful winners of the tournament, probably without shadow of a doubt the best team in the tournament. I don't think people will naturally see Spain as winning it. I think they probably thought they'll get to the semis first and foremost. But pretty impressive, isn't it, that their CV in terms of they knocked out Germany, they knocked out France, they beat England in the final.
Had Italy and Croatia.
They won every game. They won every game.
They did. Yeah.
And I think they've won. I think they've won it with, and I think what the good thing is for the actual tournament winners and the right team winning is that they won it. They won it in style. They won it with a style. And this is the thing that I think I'll probably get envious the most about when you look at teams like Spain. I think Holland have lost their way over the last 15 years, but Spain never seem to lose their way. Like, yeah, they might. They've gone through a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say hardship because they won a tournament 15 years ago. But in terms of their standards over the last 4 to 6 years, it's been a lot more about progressing the team again, isn't it? But they'll always play the same way, won't they, Spain? And I think this naturally holds them in strong position when they do play in tournaments.
They have that DNA, which is what we're lacking.
Yeah.
They seem to play the same style of football, no matter, you know, when they had Xavi, Iniesta, Villa, Torres, you know, now they've got Lamel and Norman and Morata, but they're still playing the same way. They're still playing the same style of football that you see them playing 15, 20 odd years ago. And that's because they have that DNA, and the manager that comes in realises that. And he gets the best out of them. It's the way they train. It's literally bred into them bloody Spanish players, isn't it?
That's it. And it was fascinating to me, anyways, that this squad wasn't dominated by Real and Barcelona.
No.
No, exactly.
I think Sociedad had 5 or 6 guys in it.
Yeah, right.
So, as you said, it's a cultural thing, obviously, that's just, this is how we play over here, and you buy into it or you won't be picked. You know?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
You know, and the manager seemed to coached a lot of these guys to success at either under 19, under 21, or under 17, under 21. Yeah, so he's known them for a long, long time. So,
but so does Southgate. Look at the fucking state of him.
Yeah,
it's got to be tactics. You've got to think a lot of people as well, players behind the scenes, might have lost a bit of faith in him. You've got to think now after that, again, back-to-back finals, how deflated they're all feeling. They're probably feeling, is this fucking dopey cunt the right person for the job or not? Like,
surely they got to turn out Harry Kane and all.
According to
nothing. He's a fucking cheat.
Oh, they must be.
Think, hang on, something's not right here. We can't win nothing with that cunt.
Yeah.
According to the media and the pundits, he's done a fantastic job. He should be given Southgate. Yeah,
Fuck off.
It's fantastic.
Anyone who's being honest will go. Yeah. Anyone who's been
earlier, Mr. Spitty, he was all over him.
Yeah. Anyone who's been genuinely honest and analysing England properly will go, in the last 4 tournaments, the first good team they've ran into has beaten them in the knockout stages.
So, do you think he stays, Mark?
I think it's his decision. I don't think the FA are going to get rid of him.
That's the worry.
I think he's too arrogant to walk away.
Yeah.
Also,
what other job would he get? What other job would he go to? At club level, he's been
he might get a directorship or one of those type roles within the FA, but he won't get another manager's job.
There's no way he's dropping down to the Championship. He's too fucking out. It's never happening. I guarantee he stays for the World Cup.
Well, that's it. Wouldn't you love a 4-week trip to the States?
Mate,
all expenses paid.
The only job he'll get after football is the Antiques fucking roadshow because he's that fucking boring.
He ain't gonna nick Dion Dublin's job down homes under the Hamlin.
Dublin will fight him for that.
Just look, before I go into just some other teams in the tournament, I'm going to go a little bit wayward here, and obviously because we're all Arsenal fans. Obviously, 2 players that we have been linked with coming out of this tournament is obviously 2 Palace lads, Guayi and Eze. Are these players that you would be interested in bringing to the club?
Yes, please.
Definitely.
Yes, please. Get him in.
Yeah. I think Guayi gives us that sort of, we're one injury away from the defence being ruined. So Guayi coming in gives us that strength and that versatility that he's got. And Eze, I quite rate him. I think it would do either Martinelli or Saka along with Trossard to have that extra bit of competition.
Yeah.
It's going to bring the best out of them. Yeah. It's going to bring the best out of Eze, so surely it's win-win.
Who do you think naturally would be the authority? I'll go to you on this, John, because obviously they've already lost Elise, haven't they? So for losing Eze and Guayi in one transfer window, there's obviously a big loss in it. Like because who would you naturally prefer to if he had to sign out of either?
Eze, I think we could cope defensively. I mean, we've got other players in those positions. I think we'd be all right, but going forward, that's I think where we need to strengthen. And if you see the rumours today as well, how true this is, Smith Rowe apparently had offers from Palace and Fulham. I mean, if it's Palace, fuck me. I mean, there's a deal there to be had.
You're looking at something there, aren't you?
Yeah, you just. I mean, we'll give you Smith Rowe and 30-40 million for Eze. I don't know what he's got left in his contract. Eze, I don't think he's got much long. I think he might have a year or two. So,
something.
But yeah, I think he'd come. Am I right in thinking he was at Arsenal when he was a youngster?
Yeah, we let him go.
Yeah, so, I mean, and again, I've said this many a time, but anyone that's trained or played in a team with Saka will love him. You just all the players say it as it is. He's very infectious. You're telling me him, Rice and Ramsdale as well, having me going, come to Arsenal, come to Arsenal, come to Arsenal. So, yeah, I mean, yes, I think there's definitely a deal there to be had. Gay, he's a good player, but I don't know if other teams might go for him. But as you said, Liam, it'd be madness if Palace sold them too, as well as Elise. They might not have a choice in the matter, but yeah, you vote for them. But yes, obviously you're waiting for the transfer to really kick in. I mean, also what I will say quickly, obviously all the Man City players have really struggled in the Euros. And I don't know if anyone else is thinking this, but surely there's something going on with Man City this summer. I don't know if you read today. Ederson's possibly leaving.
To Saudi.
I think it was Saudi. Something is going on. I just
they're all jumping shit, mate. Before the end of the season.
Was rubbish. Don't get me wrong, but I think they all know something's going on, and I think it's affected quite a few of them. In De Bruyne, I think something's going down, and they're all leaving a sinking ship. And fingers crossed, to be lovely, but that will be interesting. And also, there's players out there. While we're almost top dogs, we need to get in there and get in there and get the players because this is our time to shine.
Yeah, and the other one, I'm going to go. Well, you go to anyone on this. The other player that has been kind of linked, probably gone down a little bit. Ivan Toney. Is he a player that you potentially would bring in if there is no other options to bring in terms of striking options? Is he someone that could be a good plan B?
I suppose I'll go on this. Just looking at the tournament, I suppose, when you look at the tournament, the top goal scorer is 3 goals. There's not that many strikers out there. Like, there really isn't. The pool is very, very shallow. Now, that means the price is very, very high for anyone you're going for. But and I do think we need a 9. Havertz, we know, is a good striker, but not prolific. So, yeah, if something can be done with Ivan Toney, I'd consider it definitely, or Watkins for that matter. But
I was going to say Watkins. I think if I had to choose between the two, I'd rather have Watkins. But
I think Tony's more gettable.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think Watkins. The fact they got Champions League football. I mean, he probably would come, but I don't think Villa would want to sell him, and they'd ask for stupid money. I think as well. Now he scored that goal against Holland, he probably whacked up his fee by about 40 million. And he's 28, and Liam.
Yeah, he's 28. Watkins.
Tony's about the same, isn't he?
Yeah, I just think with Ivan Toney, I think it's more like you say, like Aston Villa now hold all the cards. They didn't get Champions League football. I don't think they'd have held the cards with him, but I think they hold the cards. And I just think with Ivan Toney, like, I think we can get. I think there's a deal to be had there, and I think you can probably get that down now to about 40 to 50 million. And I just think, like,
and we could send Nketiah the other way. Don't forget.
Well, yeah, there's potential. Well, there's talk about him in Marseille, isn't there, at the moment? But
is it really?
Yeah, there is. But I'm on a nutshell that if you can't get anyone else in, at least you know Ivan Toney knows the Premier League. At least you know he can guarantee at least 15 goals, and he can take that workload off Ivan Toney, off Kai Havertz as well. And you've got the option of going direct to both of them in games as well. Which, let's be honest, if you're going direct to them two, you bloody well know the centre backs are not going to have a comfortable time, whether it's the last 20, 30 minutes of the games. And I just think that. I think, Mark, you're bang on. I think when you start looking at this tournament, and even I think if you look at Copa America, the quality of strikers is just not there at the moment. And I think you're going to be held to ransom for strikers. And if you can't get a Victor Osimhen or someone like that, then I just think that potentially for a short-term solution over 2 to 3 years, it might be good business.
Yeah.
Me and Liam, we had this conversation the other night, didn't we, about the Swedish lad at Sporting Lisbon, Gukaresh, whatever it's called. It's just weird that's gone completely dead, and the fact that he wasn't involved in the Euros, you would have thought the deal would have gone through by now, and that just seems to be dead. And I don't know what's happened, whether it's just going to get a surprise announcement, but that just from the rumours that were there before the Euros. Oh yeah, we sit around. There's a fee. You get police calls. It's just completely disappeared off the radar.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's a weird one, isn't it? Like, if not being used, you expect some big talk. Like the Italian guy at the moment, they've come out in the Euros and the talk just totally intensified. And I think we're going to get this week where talk start intensifying. And we do know as well. Yeah, Mick he loves his Premier League players, though, don't he? He does like buying from within the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be interesting to see what kind of happens there. Just going back into the tournament quickly, France, I think we can all safely say had a bit of a disastrous tournament in terms of their standards. I think they're probably another team that potentially Didier Deschamps is probably ahead of his time there. And I think a fresh regime might be something to trigger the French back into action again.
Giroud retired today.
Yeah, Giroud.
Yes.
Zidane apparently is taking over, isn't he?
Yeah,
I'm thinking Henri's doing the French Olympic football.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
if they win that, you never know. You never know.
I think Mbappe, he's in different tournament. I think stemmed from this season at PSG. I think that so much has gone on behind the scenes and the injury. I know we had that little bit of debate at the start of the tournament, and I think he has got all the capabilities to be a world class player. No, but I do agree. I do agree what you say. I think for him, I think Real Madrid will turn him into that world class player. I actually naturally think that so much happened last season with him, and I think going into the tournament and then breaking his nose and all that kind of. I think so much has happened now. I think it's affected his tournament, and I don't think the French are in the best of spirits within the camp as it is. It seems.
I mean, he is French football. I mean, if he didn't do it, no one else stood up to the plate. You know, they've got so many good players, but they all bottled it really.
So they were very underwhelming. In terms of Germany, I thought they looked like a team that can come back into the mix. Yet again, I think they had a good tournament. Just caught sucker punch by Spain at last minute. I think that when you start looking at that last minute goal by Spain was massive because I actually think Germany beat them on penalties.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Germany don't lose shootouts.
No, not in their own country.
So yeah, I do. I think obviously Germany will come back into the fold. I think Portugal, personally, I don't know about you guys. I think they need to end this Ronaldo thing now.
They're another country needs to get rid of their manager as well, Martinez.
No, don't say
no,
that.
Don't say that.
England, boss. He'll be England. No. He gets all these jobs. I'm telling you. His interview technique must be incredible, honestly.
And his agent. His agent must get a lot of credit.
Oh, God, yeah. But you could see it. You could see it.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened, Brooksy, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Portugal, for me, looked better when they didn't have Ronaldo on.
Yeah.
I think there'd be serious contenders with that Ronaldo.
Yeah. It's just like everything seems to need to go through him. And if it doesn't go through him, if it doesn't go through to him, he does his best Foden impression and starts having a fucking issue.
The arms up in the air.
If he'd scored early on, I think they probably would have won the tournament because they spent the whole tournament trying to pass him the ball so he could score.
Yeah.
But
if he scored early on, I think they would have practiced
against Georgia. No, it's trying to get the goal.
They're not showing strikers either, Portugal. They got Ramos and they got Felix. So there's someone to come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't see. Again, he is a Portuguese Kane.
Yeah.
Like, they just won't bring him off. He's always in the starting fucking lineup.
Yeah.
Everything's just got to go through him, and I don't get it because you have got so many other better players around, and the games where he's gone off, I genuinely felt that they looked better.
Yeah.
It's like if you take them off half an hour fucking sooner, maybe you would have had different results.
That's it. Like they have, as we've said, they've bring the tackle. Even if they want to play Diogo Jota, who's played up front for Liverpool a few times, like they have better players than Ronaldo. And look, if he retires, there could be a danger in the States in a couple of years' time. But if he hangs around for that World Cup, you can forget about them doing anything else.
Don't give he's still going in. Maybe what, 42 already?
Yeah.
I think Belgium was the interesting one as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think so much went against them right at the start of the tournament. It just spiraled, didn't it? And
Lukaku won the golden goal for offside goals.
We finished top goal scorer.
I eyed him as well. Can you believe? Yeah, typical. I don't get anything for that.
I think there's a bit. I think there's a bit there where they have obviously underperformed. But I think there's a bit where they were just literally screwed over by Lukaku.
One of those goals was ridiculous.
That's it. The coach falling out with Courtois as well didn't help.
And they must have.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And they must have been gutted, like to get out of the group stages. They must finish top still, and then France finished second. And you just sit there and think they had no luck all tournament, did they? Belgium, but
they were packing their bags.
It was a very strange tournament all together.
Yeah. And then, obviously, last but not least, so I've got to put a little digging on the old Scots, you know what I mean? So I know Gooner, but I've got to do it, mate. I've got to do it.
So I don't care.
Turn up, 1-0, went home.
Yeah.
And yet putting it out there, you know what I
mean? Celebrating a goal kick.
But they won the Euros last night. They won the Euros last night. So
it's all good. It's a winning team.
Some of the fucking people. There's a betting geezer, Andy Robs. He changed it to fucking Andres Rob. Yeah. I thought, as much as I like following you, mate, fuck off.
We're gonna go into our. Well, it's going to be our last part of the show because there ain't no score predictions anymore. And he's officially back. So I'm going to let you guys have your individual porridge list of the week first, and then I'll go at the end. So, Jonesy, you got one person. Who is on your porridge list this week?
I'm going to go for a person who's not only a shit footballer, but also a shit dad, and that's Carl Walker.
You just want to leave it there? Nothing else? No further speech?
I don't want to get any strikes.
I think that pretty much fucking sums it up, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's just his whole tournament, like you say, what he does for City, what he does for England, his chalk and cheese. The guy couldn't pass a 5-yard ball. My nan could, and she's dead. But it's just an absolute travesty. This guy was still playing at right back when, like we say, Trent, who's probably not even the best defender as a right back, but you still would have probably had him in there or give him a shot.
Forward running.
But yeah, and he's a shit dad as well.
Wanker.
Fair enough. There's your thing. Craig, who's on your porridge list?
Mine's probably an easy one to go to, but I've got it's fucking Kane. He's a cunt. I fucking hate him. He's a shit fucking captain. He can't speak the fucking English properly. I just didn't see him at any point being a leader. That's like the whole fucking point of having that captain's armband, is it not?
Yeah.
And he just, like you said, we've talked about it. He don't make them runs. He's what, 6 foot what? And he's not even fucking jumping Fred. Like, he fucking winds me up. Plus the fact that he used to play for the fucking Spuds as well. Like, how do you go from fucking moving to the fucking Bundesliga, banging in however many goals you fucking did, putting on an England shirt and going, I forgot how to kick a ball. Like, fuck off. He fucking winds me up, mate. He's just an absolute twat. He just needs to be dropped. I think he needs to be put in his fucking place. I don't think Southgate will do that. I think if a new manager comes in, he needs to say to him, look, you're fucking shit. You're not good enough to be a captain. I'd rather give it to fucking Anthony Gordon and fucking you, and that's saying something. And he just needs to realise that he needs to start putting the performances in. Otherwise, you don't fucking play. Not be shit for fucking 3-4 games of the fucking tournament and still getting in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
And I'm going to end it there. I thought, he's a fucking idiot.
Thank you very much, sir.
No problem. I needed that.
Sometimes you do, mate. That's why the porridge list section is always the best.
I feel a bit lighter now.
Mark, who's on yours this week?
It's hard for me this week, but I'm going to go for Pickford, because if that fucker had let a few of those shots in, it wouldn't have been panicking the minute England might have actually won that tournament.
I can imagine there were some people panicking all over the home nation.
Few of these, all right, Liam.
John Brooks.
I was going to say Kane, but I'll go for old Rat Boy Foden. Mr. Player of the Year, Mr. I did shit all, I hit the post, I'm fucking shit. Fuck off. Yeah.
007.
007, mate. Yeah. And you know, the most annoying thing is, the first game of the season, and they got Ipswich Town, he'll bang a hat trick in, and everyone's like, Phil Foden's the best player. How about
they've wanking him off left, right, and fucking centre.
Yeah, bollocks.
Yeah. And he'll be thinking
when we needed him the most
knees.
in the whole tournament, he was nowhere to be seen.
I said this.
18 and 19-year-olds coming in and doing their
Casper.
job, and he couldn't do shit all. Too busy trying to be top dog or Jude Bellingham. He can go on the list and all.
Well, I put him on the list.
There's so many more.
Yeah, Mr. Prima Donna. No, they can both go on. They can share it. I'm sure
you're making it hard for me because I can't go for none of them.
You're just going to stick the manager on it. Go on.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
You deliberately left him for me.
you tuck in. Go on.
No.
Let's
you know
let
what,
it all
right?
out.
He's not going on my list. And the reason he's not going on my list, right, is because he's the owner of this list. So he's always on my porridge list wherever he is. He runs this section now. So that's the biggest compliment I can give him. I'm going to give it to Jamie Carragher. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to bring it back. So we're going to go ahead into the Premier League season. Like, I remember all the times that these guys give Mikel Arteta grief. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's got to go and all that, and he's shit and all that kind of stuff. But wait a minute, he comes out to stay. He's saying what an incredible Southgate's done, gone totally against the grain, and says he's got to stay. Like, you don't think that deep down, Jamie. You don't think that you're trying to be controversial. Deep down, you think he should go like the rest of us. You're talking shit once again. like you always do with your mate Neville. Just spout crap all the fucking time. There's no way, right, that I believe in my brain, yeah, right, that he wants Gareth Southgate to stay. He's either the FA have paid him to say that, and we'll start getting all this brainwashing, or he's just doing it to be controversial.
Yeah.
And I don't like him. And he's a prick, so he can go on the boys.
Yeah,
He spits at
definitely.
people.
And he spits at kids as well.
Yeah.
And there's your top point.
What a CV.
Yeah. He's probably bitter he didn't get hired by BBC or ITV, did he?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
He's
don't.
just
Yeah,
fucking
I tell you what,
boring,
Rosie, I'm not
mate.
taking to the Gareth Southgate and Rosie porridge list soon.
To be fair, Scousers ain't English. To be fair, though, Scousers ain't English anyway, are they? So
No, exactly. So obviously, just going to the last part, going into a new season now. How much can you not wait for the football to restart? Obviously, next week the friendly start. I think we got Bournemouth next Thursday night. Am I right in saying in America?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Is
Is it Thursday?
Bournemouth. Have we?
Yeah, playing Bournemouth, Liverpool, and United in the States.
yeah.
For the next
How Bournemouth got to
3-4
that
weeks.
one?
Yeah, Bournemouth. Well, technically it's Thursday morning, isn't it? 3:30 Thursday morning,
Here.
I think.
Well, fuck off in Spanish as well, by the way.
By the way, Man United lost today as well. So
Yeah, Rosenborg. Yeah.
Rosenborg beat Man United today 1-0.
They're back, baby.
They're not just back. They made the signing already. Have they made 2 signings already, Man
They
United?
signed
Didn't
that
they sign some
Joshua
Dutch lad?
Xerxes yesterday.
Yeah. Who couldn't get in the Dutch team ahead of Wout Weghorst. So that
No,
tells me all
exactly.
I
That
need
tells
to
you
know.
everything you need to fucking know
I
about
thought
that
he was
signing.
American.
Who?
That's
Apparently
Josh
not,
Xerxes.
Brooksy.
I don't know why I thought he was American. I'm sure I read somewhere he was American.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah, I think it's stemming nicely now. Hopefully, we'll get a couple of transfers. The problem is though, isn't it? It's a weird one with the Euros. Like,
Yeah.
when we go out to America, we don't actually do any signings, do we? Because obviously Edu usually goes out there. Do you think that'd be different mark this year with obviously the Euros? Do you think they'll be more active?
Might well be
I
because
think they're gonna have to,
everything's
yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of pushed
there's
back.
not really much choice, is there?
No.
'Cause that's it.
I'm hoping there might be one this week, but I don't know. It's wishful thinking possibly. But it's only Monday.
Ooh,
so
before they go out, mate. No, they've already
Yeah,
gone.
they might
No.
do one of those things like
No,
they
they
did
haven't
with
gone
the
yet.
Vice
No.
video. They might do like an airplane, and then all of a sudden there's a new player on the plane. It's that would
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah.
The Italian boy is the most likely.
Yeah.
And in terms of players going out, obviously Tavares has gone and Sammy
Yeah.
Lukonga's gone.
Yep.
Tavares is obviously obligation to buy.
Only on loan though, it's annoying.
Yeah.
That's what's annoying.
I think it initially is annoying, but I think once you get the transfer fee and if they sell again, then you start looking at if it's 25% on both of them. Like you start looking at probably in about a few years' time, they do well, they do sell. You're looking to probably get another, hopefully 10 to 20 million on top of that, ain't you?
Mm.
So like,
Dandy did well at Luton, to be fair.
yeah, can we
They
expect
do
much?
They do all right, Sevilla, I think.
I think
Yeah,
I
he
think the
will.
longer term is probably the deals will probably be much better, but obviously shorter term,
then they
I
look
think
now.
because of their careers at Arsenal as well, they've not been great, have they? Like it's hard to sell them, so I think we're probably
That's an
doing the best we can.
understatement.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the best we can get out money wise, isn't it?
Mm.
And then you look at the English guys. Obviously, Aaron Ramsdale, I think will go.
Yep.
Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, another 2 players that are obviously possibly go. Anyone else that you think will go? Obviously, let's talk about Jacob Kiwarin,
Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
Depends if we get another.
so obviously-
If we get that Italian boy in, it would make sense for that Kiwior to leave.
Yeah.
But yeah.
and what do we
Looks
think
like
in terms
we're
of?
signing that young keeper from Ajax as well, Tommy Setford or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Supposed to be
that's
good at
good.
penalties.
Who's that?
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Supposed to be
What's
good
that?
at penalties. I'd say he's the goalkeeper. He's supposed to be good at stopping pens. But like I'd say one of the reasons for bringing him is he's English, so it gets
Yeah,
the
it's
quality
homegrown.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ticks the box.
And
How
if
many-
you're
how many
selling
people
all
bring in?
these,
How many do you think we're bringing this summer? How many
Players,
players?
I'm hoping about 5, but I don't know.
don't think
Four.
I think he wants to trim down the squad.
I'd
But
say
if
3 or
we
4.
if we're getting rid of about 6 or 7 players, well, it can't leave us too short. Unless then one area is going to get promoted.
3 or 4 I'm sticking with, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Craig. I think
it'd be 5. But I think we're probably 4 of them be goal. I'm not joking, yeah. But I think naturally it will be 5 because if we do end up getting that Dan Bentley in, which it looks like that probably will happen, even without cheeky bid. And you look at us getting another goalkeeper, that's 2 in it on itself. So I think we're probably looking at probably 5. I'd say 5. I reckon
the Italian lad, that's 3.
I think 5.
Eze possibly, that's 4.
Yep.
Tony possibly 5.
Mbappe 6.
We'll take him on loan from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Don't forget the usual Draxler, Benzema, Higuain.
And Villa. He was
the ITKs will be in fresh form now. The fucking Euros are finished.
Oh, mate, it's unbelievable today, mate. They didn't even waste their time, did they? Like literally,
I've not really been on there that much today, to be fair.
The best bit was that you knew the Tottenham fans are back out. We didn't win. There was no Spurs fans in the Euros. That's why we didn't win it.
Nah. All that back in Kane, wasn't there? It wasn't Harry Kane's fault. It was all Declan Rice's fault. Was it? Okay.
Brilliant. Anyway, guys, obviously, thank you very much for coming on. Obviously, first and foremost, we just want to thank you, Jonesy, for obviously doing these shows with us over the summer. It's been a good one. It's been emotional. Obviously, not the ending we wanted, but I'm sure we'll go again in America in a couple of years.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. Likewise to yourself. Thanks for doing the shows. It's been fun winding up the Scottish fans, other than Brooksy. But yeah, it's been good fun. To be fair, mate, this was all well and fun, but let's get back to the Arsenal shows. I can't wait for them. That's our bread and butter. That's what we want, I'd always be club over country any day, as much as it would have been nice to win yesterday.
Yeah.
But give me the Champions League at the end of next season. I'll be naked with Brooksy.
All day. Yeah, we're playing swords. Go on.
Just going over to you, Brooksy. Is the old Johnny Gooner show coming back next year?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm in discussions with Ian. Hopefully, change the day so we can come on there at a more regular thing.
Good stuff. That's good to hear.
Start of the week. Yeah, but definitely be up and running.
Wicked, brilliant, good, mate. And obviously, Craig, thanks for making your debut tonight, mate. Hopefully, we'll get you on when you talk about the Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I wanted to do a couple of the ones you've done, but unfortunately, other things cropped up as life does.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely when the season gets going, definitely, let me know. I'll be on as many as I can do.
Yeah, no, we'll.
I'll be on my show. Go on.
Yeah,
mate. Yeah, honestly, I'll jump on them.
Good man.
And Mark, obviously, thanks for coming on, mate, and obviously giving it from a home nations kind of perspective today.
Yeah, we didn't qualify again, so as I said, again, we're used to it at this stage. Need to raise the ghost of Jack Charlton, and then we'll start qualifying for tournaments again.
Nah, you never know, mate.
Unless this dentist is any good of a manager, you never know.
Surely you're going to be in the Euro 2028 anyway. You get the bye.
Well, yeah, if they allow us to host it, maybe. Yeah. Qualify as host nation. That's about the height of it. Because we won't be qualifying on merit. So,
Rosie asking you, where was your Craig? England fans needed your support.
Yeah, apologies, but unfortunately, other things come up that are sometimes a bit more important than footy. I know that's hard to say, but it happens.
That's sacrilege.
I said it. I don't regret it. It's out there now. But yeah, when those things aren't important, obviously football does come first. But unfortunately, some sad and good things got in the way. So but definitely I'll be here. Arsenal throughout the season, so I'll definitely be about.
No worries, mate.
And obviously from after beating the darts as well, by the way, just so anyone who's looking out for that result.
What's that?
I watched in the background. He won 10-6.
Who did?
MVG beat Littler 10-6.
Oh,
he
just gets.
Give him a good.
It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, don't it?
Time to switch off.
I know he loses, England
Liverpool do
lose.
one.
They've binned off the best fantasy football at by far, the fit one that got announced today that's been cancelled. I'm gonna have to go back to using the fucking official Premier League one now, ain't I? What a fucking shit day!
Yeah,
It's
what
all
a
gone
shit
wrong.
day.
Yeah.
When's the Olympics start?
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Oh, he'd be right bang on it.
hell.
I'll do it.
Oh, mate, I'm there. Team GB, mate. I have my flag on. Go on.
At least Djokovic lost yesterday. There is
Yeah.
some
Right trash.
It's
He's probably
good.
smashed up his violin.
Yeah, and obviously for myself, obviously I will be coming back with obviously new shows. So yeah, keep an eye out. Probably start looking to get that kicked in from next week onwards, where we start reviewing the transfer window. Looking at obviously Arsenal. Probably going through the squad coming up for the new season, but also looking at the Premier League in a whole. So yeah, that will be obviously kicking off soon. And I obviously just want to say thank you to everyone obviously in the chats over the last 5-6 weeks. Even you, Rosie, I'm going to give you a little thank you and then piss off. Do you know what I mean? But no, it's been all good banter with the Scott guys, and they got their result in the end. So they'll live happily ever after for another couple of years. Till the World Cup, but yeah, no, it's a bit of a sad one at the end. Obviously, we thought it was all coming home, but it never really was. It
Not all of us. Have a good one, everyone.
So yeah.